1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move, whatever click you choose.
Okay, so before I get into the video, man, I want to tell you guys to go to my community post and check out the link, especially for the men out there, man. You're going to like this new YouTube page is coming. It's called Robin Magic. Go to my community post and check that out. And also, man, I bumped into a brother the other day who happens to have a company by the name of Wilmar's Transportation, man. I unfortunately lost the card. So if you happen to see this video, man, please be sure to tap in with me so I can get the number that goes to your business so I can put it up and throw you a couple of commercials up on here, man. With that being said, let's get into the video. Commercials up on here, man. With that being said, let's get into the video. So I believe it was either Friday or Saturday night, man. I'm at the casino. I'm chilling. You know, I don't really gamble, but I'm just hanging out there, you know, doing some things, really looking at my phone or whatever. And I happened to see this video by Gunner, man. So, you know, once again, in my opinion, man, Gunner loves to always play the unassuming victim. To me, it's ridiculous, right? And in this video, in my opinion, he definitely tries to slide in a lot of backhanded jabs, right? But anyway, let's get into it, man. And I'm gonna react to this video, man. Let's go.
Man, I got a lot of drama. But let me tell you something about Dubs, right? There's this new paperwork floating around. And there's so many people in my DMs like, hey, bro, I see you fuck with Dubs. I seen the new Super Dubs video. I know that's your friend. But, bro, what do you think about this paperwork? I don't give a fuck about no paperwork. Am I in prison? Am I shackled up? Does it look like every day that's all I think about is prison? Look, respect to the people who are behind bars, man, doing their thing in their time. You got caught. I got caught several times and I did time behind bars. Do I give a fuck about if you're on a 50-50 yard, a SNY yard, a GP yard? See, hey, look, I don't have to play the tough role and the cool role. None of that shit matters to me. Prison is prison. If there's
Now listen, he says none of that stuff matters to him, right? And I agree, right? I said, man, when they found me suitable, I threw all that prison paperwork in the trash 2 or 3 days later after I passed out the rest of the papers that I felt the lifers might be interested in. But to me, it's crazy how this dude will try to apply prison politics when it's convenient, or at times he feel they should fit. If they don't fit, they don't fit, especially with this dude, because you have already admitted, right, that you have went SNY, you was on 50-50 yards, so it never should apply to you. And you never should apply it to others, but when it's convenient, you'll try. But let's keep going.
There's a wall, there's a chain link fence, there's some bars, and your ass is behind it. You're fucking eating the same sopa that dude on the 50-50 yard is eating. Same brand, Marushan, right? Top ramen. And that's it, man. There's no difference. The same sopa, the same fucking cold steel toilet. The only difference is there's some guys with some funny paperwork running around. Now we get to paperwork. This guy Chill, okay? And look, I know Chill's going to make a video. He's going to, man, this is an opportunity. I'm giving everybody today opportunities to make videos, man. I'm going to give you.
Thank you for the opportunity, man. I love when you and Dubs give me permission to make videos and to talk on things. So thank you.
I'm alley-oop. I'm throwing AI, right? I'm throwing it to you. The answer. Here's the answer. Chill is upset. He says he's not making it a personal thing, but he's done over 24, 25, 26 videos about Dubs and several of myself, one after another, because he felt disrespected. But how did I disrespect him? How did Dubs disrespect him? Okay. Did we apologize? Absolutely. One night we were a little faded on a live and people kept saying, Chill saying this, Chill saying that, Chill saying this. And
now, This dude, see, that's what I'm saying, man. So later on in the video, he goes on to apologize and say, hey, chill, I'm sorry if I offended you. But if you going to tell the story, man. These dudes act like all this stuff is not documented. Didn't nobody keep saying Chill saying this and Chill saying that? A person said one time, man, Chill dropped a video about Dubs. Dubs said, oh, is that right? I'm going to go check it out. Then he disrespect me. This is the problem with this dude, man. This dude is I'm trying to be respectful, but this dude is a habitual liar, man. He lies by habit. If you're going to tell the story how it happened. Dubs even goes on to say in a video not too long ago that, hey, man, me and Gunner, we stupidly like idiots, or whatever he says, we took the bait. Somebody said something, and without looking at the video, we took the bait. So if you guys is going to tell the story, at least be accurate.
Like fucking idiots. All 5'7" 3/4, and me 5'11" and a half, almost 6 foot, but Dubs will say different, right? We said some crazy shit about Chill. You want to know what we said? I'll tell you what we said. How can Chill talk shit about individuals when that man was on a CMC yard? Okay, look, everyone in the prison system in California knows CMC yard is classified, or was back in the days, as a kind of softer yard, a weaker yard. That doesn't mean weak people are on that yard. That just means they classified it as a soft yard.
First and foremost, I never was talking shit about any one of these dudes. You guys love to change the narrative, man. I made a video about some content Dubs made that I disagreed with. I never had anything negative to say about Dubs' status, so on and so forth.
People on fucking Salinas Valley yard right now. There's some weak people in High Desert. There's some weak. I might be weak, right? For all we know. But one thing we do know for sure is that's what it was classified. And that was our get backs, because he was saying a lot of things. So it was like, hey, he was on a soft ass yard, man. That yard right there was a programming ass yard.
Now, once again, he tells another lie talking about I was saying a lot of things. I hadn't said anything, right? Now, let me get into this, right? Now, he made a good point talking about Salinas. Now, when I first came into the pen in 1996, you had Salinas Valley. You had a lot of them, right? But I'm going to just name Salinas Valley, Pleasant Valley, Ironwood, even Chuckawalla. All these yards, all these prisons, and these prisons have 4 or 5 yards. All those yards were general population yards at the time, right? Salinas Valley has a very notorious reputation, right? Later on, I don't know how long it was down the line, 10, 15 years, however long it was, due to the needs of the California Department of Correction, they converted some of the yards at Salinas Valley, the general population yards, into PC or SNY yards. So now, if a dude gets sent to one of those PC or SNY yards, is this dude a solid individual because of the reputation that Salinas Valley has had in the past? No, this dude is PC, right? So my whole point is, man, at some point in time, due to whatever needs being overpopulated or whatever, CMC started sending mainliners to A yard. I don't know about the reputation CMC had in the 80s or the 90s or whatever. I know when I got to CMC on A yard, that's the only yard that I was on, it was a main line population yard, right? So I don't feel you guys should even try to smut me first of all by politics that don't apply to me. You guys know that. So what you did was intentionally try to smut my name. And that's what I had a problem with. Especially you should have never even spoke on that. And I may insert it into the video here, right, of what you guys said. You at that time had been on a SNY yard. You had been to Mule Creek, which everybody knows is no good. I posted videos where you saying that you had been on an SNY yard, a 50-50 yard. So to me, it's crazy that you would try to smut me when you are no good among your people. I mean, I just don't understand that, right? And like I said, I never stepped out of the realm of content. You guys happened to be drunk and just took the bait.
19 points. Okay, Chill had 19 points on that yard doing his thing. Ain't no big deal. That's not even real disrespectful. That's just facts and truth, right?
Now, once again, there he goes with another lie. It's not facts and truth. CMC East was a 3 yard. So there's no way I had 19 points on the 3 yard. These dudes go on to make up these narratives and tell these lies and just go on and on and on, you know, or he just makes up stuff and doesn't check this information. Either way, when you are intentionally trying to smut an individual, I think it's uncool.
I'm not going to sit here and say Chill was a punk or Chill was a sucker or Chill wasn't about his business, because I don't know that man. You know, only thing I've ever heard is he was a non-affiliate, got out, and it says he was a Crip. If he was, he was. If he wasn't, he wasn't.
Now, there's another lie. He says the only thing I've ever heard or a backhanded jab. The only thing I've ever heard is he was a non-affiliate. He got out. He says he's a Crip. This dude is steady trying to put in these little sneak disses. Who have you heard that from? You've only heard it from Dubs. So if you guys say, which I've told in numerous stories, that yeah, I was at CMC. I have no problem with that because it's not a bad prison with my people. Once again, you know, you guys don't dictate my program. So if that's not bad for you guys to say that, then why is it bad for me to say that Dubs is a rat, that Dubs is a snitch? It's well known he debriefed. And while you may try to cover for Dubs because he's your buddy, we all know what debriefing entails. Those of us who've done enough time in the California Department of Correction, we all know what debriefing entails. He had to write a lifelong history of himself, about his crime, about those he hung with, so on and so forth. Dubs will go on to say he's the only one who had to debrief during that time period, but did not have to inform on others. When I showed you guys in a video in his own declaration, it wasn't the declaration of his lawyer, his own declaration, he says he incriminated himself and others. So come on, man, make it make sense.
You know what I mean? Crip gang, right? Whatever. Respects to the Crips. You know, and respects to Chill, because I don't have nothing bad to say about him. He said he's made so many videos talking shit about me all up in my mix, but I'm not going to even go there, man. Not because I'm intimidated, because I mean,
like I say, it's crazy how he says, I don't have anything bad to say about Chill, but you're steady trying to shoot these, you know, backhanded, disrespectful jabs, right? Especially on information that you and Dubs just coming up with and making up stuff. We already know neither one of you guys, your word is caca.
Bro, he's a brother, man. He goes under different politics. You know, we can sit here and debate all day about Mexican and black politics and who's stronger and who's weaker and who goes where and who is allowed to do what. And I think we all know by now in the California prison system, man, there's no politics that compare to the Mexicans, North or South, or the whites. It just is what it is, man. Everyone's about the business. Everyone will handle their business, but everyone has different loyalties and different things that they have to abide by while incarcerated. I'm not trying to get into all the prison shit because I'm not there. I'm right here. And Chill took it as disrespect, and we apologized tremendously, right? Now, there was a phone call, a conversation that was had behind the scenes.
Now, let me just stop and say this, right? Gunner has been on YouTube for a while. He's been embroiled in several different back and forths, conflicts, whatever you want to call them, with different individuals. I just feel at this point he is old enough and has been on YouTube long enough to know how to avoid these situations if he wants to. Just remain respectful, right? I've been on YouTube 5 years, have never got into it with anybody other than Dubs, right? I won't even feel I've got into it with you because you just say a lot of disrespectful stuff on the down low and then you feign ignorance, right? But now let's get into this phone call. Once again, he lies, he changes the narrative, and he proves that Dubs is a liar.
Right? And to be totally honest with you, Chill got a hold of me, right? He got a hold of me. He reached out to, I think it was Homie Hangout or someone, and wanted to get my number and get a hold of me. And he reached out to me and we talked. And he was like, look, Gun, I always fucked with you. It was cool. But this, and that, you know. And I said, hey, man.
Now, that's facts. I did reach out to Josh to get his phone number. Rest in peace to Josh from the Homie Hangout, right? Now, he said we talked about this and that, this and that. Don't just zip past this and that. I talked to you about something you said in relation to where I done time at. I had nothing to say about Dubs or anything of that. I didn't have a problem with Dubs, like I keep saying. You said something about me doing time at CMC after I made a video questioning the motives of a video Dubs made. So first and foremost, you inserted yourself into a situation you shouldn't have never even been in, because Dubs is a grown man. And Dubs can speak for itself, right? So for one, that's where I felt that you went wrong. And so I'm let you know during that conversation, hey man, if you want to talk about where we done time, let's open that door. It's so much junk on YouTube about you, man, about you snitching in 115s and dropping out and doing all types of stuff. So that's what I was just basically letting you know, man. If that's the door you guys want to open, let's go down that door. I had nothing to say about Dubs. I already had Dubs' phone number. But once again, you go with these stories, you make up these lies, and you change the narrative.
This is how the conversation went down. It was cool, right? And then I told him, look, bro, if you have an issue with Dubs, maybe you should talk to him. I can call him right now, three-way. Right now, I can call him three-way. You guys can chop it up, do your thing, man.
And I told you then, I do not have a problem with Dubs. I already have Dubs' phone number. I'd had Dubs' phone number at least a year or two by then. So the same way I called you to address the issue I had with you, I would have called Dubs. You knew that Dubs was upset because I made that video. And so you wanted us to talk.
Because men talk to each other behind the scenes, man. If you got something to say, you call someone. Chill did that. I respect it. Right now, let's move on, right? So he calls, and like I said, we had a very respectful conversation. It was all good. I told him that day, hey, bro, I could call Dubs right now. You guys can chop it up because I wanted them to go ahead and kill this. Because you got to understand, man, the only reason I even knew about Chill in the first place, because I don't watch too much YouTube. The only reason I even knew about him was because Dubs had got at me and been like, hey, bro, you watch 16 Alive. This dude's a real brother right here, man. He keeps it even keel, man. He don't talk shit about North. He don't talk shit about South. He keeps it real when it comes to the brothers and the Mexicans. Like, he keeps it real.
Now, you see that? He said, I'm even keel. I didn't disrespect nobody. I keep it real when it comes to the Mexicans, the North and the South. And then suddenly, when I hop on these dudes' hell meat, though, after their disrespect, suddenly I'm not keeping it real no more. Nothing about me has changed, right? And also, it's crazy how these dudes think that they can hop on here and be deeply disrespectful, like he said, then turn around and apologize and think that's just supposed to smooth everything over. Like everybody's supposed to, that you guys disrespect is supposed to be smooth, accept your apology and not get on. So if me and this dude is chilling, right, we're having a good conversation, and out of the blue he slaps me across the face, and then I turn around and hit him 15 times with my fist. That's how it's gonna go, right? You don't slap me once and I slap you back and everything is cool. If you slap me, it's on and cracking. You know what I'm saying? So never jump on somebody that you have to jump off. That's why I say if we all remain respectful, we never get to this problem. Don't start no SH, won't be no IT.
And I remember back in the days, Dubs was like, hey, man, Chill, out of nowhere. He was like, man, Chill's a real one, man. He's got family doing this. Hey, he wants to do some type of Christmas postcard, or not that Chill wanted to do it, but the Dubs wanted to do some type of shout out for fucking Chill on Christmas. I remember we all did that. Facts, right? I didn't know Chill like that, man. So I watched a couple of his videos. I was like, cool, man, cool video. He got good stories, whatever, right?
Now, for those of you guys that may be lost why he threw that in, because in another video, he stated that Chill was feeling sad. He reached out to Dubs to ask Dubs to do a Christmas video, which I showed you guys that in a video or two ago, right? Like I say, this dude just makes up all types of stuff. So then, if I reached out to Dubs because I was feeling sad, how did you wind up in the video? I didn't reach out to you. And how did the video wind up on Dubs' page? Because Dubs reached out to me. And that's what I'm saying. These dudes just make up stuff. And it's like, man, I don't know, man, if you just make up shit to be making up shit, or you really don't remember. But if you don't remember, just say I don't remember. Don't go to making up shit and then smutting somebody with your bullshit. That's what I mean. To me, it's crazy. But that's why he threw that part in. So I just had to give you guys the context on that so you wouldn't be lost.
And I think one of my favorite videos was the video he's talking about fucking where blacks were throwing the knives because they ain't trying to get caught for a stabbing. I was like, shit, I ain't lying. I wish I could throw the knife. I had to.
Now, see, that's another backdoor disrespectful thing he tries to slide in. Just so happens to be his favorite video where the blacks are throwing the knives. So he's trying to make it seem like, the blacks, they get scared. After they stab somebody, they throw their knives, and the Mexicans hold on to their knives and get caught, right? And so for the average individual, it may go over your head. But I peep what this dude is trying to do. This dude loves to do this sneaky type shit and then feign ignorance. He's a master of it.
Stay with that motherfucker back then, right? So anyways, we talked our little discrepancies out. It was what it was. I said, I'll call Dubs right now. Chill's like, hey, nah, Brian, got time. I got to go to a birthday party. We can do this another time. I said, cool. No thing, right? Respects. We ended on a good note. I was good. I finally talked to Chill, right? Cool. Yes. Chill called me, right? So then I think it's a day or two later, I'm telling Dubs about the conversation, how he had an issue with Dubs because he's like, I got a little bit of an issue. And so Dubs is like, call him, right? And I'm like, fuck it, man. Let me call him. So I called Chill. Didn't answer the first time.
He keeps hammering in that I had an issue with Dubs, which is a lie.
I call him the second time. He answers. Now, there's no escaping it. I got Dubs on the three-way. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Chill didn't want to talk to him and he was scared to talk to him. And look, I don't know what was going through that man. That man said he had a birthday party to go to. Was what it was, right? So anyways,
now right there, right? He's trying to say, but he has been implying that ever since this whole little debacle came out, right? That he was trying to call me and I wasn't answering the phone, and we made arrangements to talk the next day. Well, when this first came out in the very first story, and I have all this stuff is documented. That's the crazy part, right? I may insert it, I may not, but he goes on to say when they disrespected me in that live that I called him the next day at the agreed time when we all were supposed to talk. Now, ever since that time, he's told the story. Then he's changed the story then. And each time he's told the story since then. Now it's he had to call me. I was ducking.
I'm going to tell you guys want to hear a funny truth? This is real. Like, let me give you guys some game. The day before I talked to Chill, he called me. Someone asked me, hey, can I give Chill your number? He wants to tap in. 100%. He said, hey, what's up? Ooh, he gave me the whole rundown. I said, hey, let's call Dubs right now. Oh, nah, bro. I'm on my way to a birthday party. I got shit to do. Whoop-de-whoop. This is true, right? So I said, all right, bro. Cool. Next, I called Dubs, told him the whole get down. Dubs was like, fuck that, bro. I want to talk to that dude. I said, I'll make it happen. He calls. I told him, hey, call me. The next day, he calls me. I had already Dubs on the phone, on the line, right? So he calls me. I'm like, hey, he's talking this, that. I said, I got Dubs on the line right now. He's like, oh, bro, I'm on my way. Fuck all that. Go ahead, Dubs. Say what you got to say. Then they got to talking. It ended up good. I'll say that. It ended up respectful and good. But, man, Dubs was not like you see him right now. He was like,
I was on him.
He's trying to imply that I was scared to talk to Dubs. And this is what this dude does, man. This dude continues to lie and make up stuff. And after a while, I wondered, like, why are these small little seemingly insignificant things so important to him and Dubs to make up lies about this small stuff? To me, it's crazy.
I put them on the phone together. Chill's like, oh, what's up? They start talking. I'm there. I'm listening. I'm on the three-way, man. We're all there. We all know no one's recording nothing. We all know we're there, right? And the conversation was very respectful on both sides. Very respectful, man. Dubs didn't sugarcoat or add preservatives. He asked the straight up questions to Chill. Chill, answered the straight up question, and they kept it cool. Very respectful, right? Hey, he accepted the apology. Everything was love. It was all good, right?
Now, let me pause right there, right? Nobody accepted any apologies because there was never anything to apologize about, right, on anybody's side. Dubs had issue with me for making that video, and, we talked things out. I explained to him that if I happen to make a video disagreeing with something that you said, it's not disagreeing with you. It's not going against you. I'm going against what you said. But the reason that I paused that is to show you guys this clip. This is something that I must insert. Pay attention to this clip right here.
And I immediately said, we can call Dubs right now on the three-way. I was trying to give you action. You were going to a birthday party. You had your things going on. I respect it. You're a grown man with a life and a family. And I said, that's cool, bro. Anytime you're willing to talk to him, you said tomorrow will be a better time. Cool. Tomorrow came around. You didn't tap in. So I called to you with Dubs on the line and let you guys do what you got to do. And nobody was breaking nothing down and no one was disrespecting anyone. And there wasn't anything like that. There was a whole lot of respectfully yeses and nos and yeses. And that's a fucking fact. Okay, I was just a mediator there because you had an interest in something Dubs said that you didn't respect or you didn't believe in. And he said, hey, I'll talk to him personally. And that was that.
Now, you just saw in an entirely different clip, Gunner is also saying that the conversation was smooth. It was a respectful conversation. Nobody was disrespectful. So many times I have seen, and I'm sure you guys have seen, Dubs say that his exact words in one video, he talked to me sternly. Then in one of his latest videos, he was saying that you're mad because I checked you on the phone. You have seen two different times that Gunner say the call was respectful. It was a smooth conversation. So once again, I really wonder, why is it so important for Dubs to lie and act like he checked me on the phone? This dude is a big ass liar, man, and it's extremely hard at times for me to remain composed because I don't get it, right? I really don't get it. It's female stuff at the finest, to say it in the nicest way that I can. So if this dude is gonna lie about something so small, of course we already know he's gonna lie about the big stuff because that's who he is.
Everyone hung up on a good note. That was a good conversation. Cool. Nothing else needed to be said. Chill then texts his Dubs and says, you know what? People in my chat are going in on you and saying this. I feel it necessary that I need to do this and make videos about you. And then that was it. It exploded. Now, if you look at the videos,
Now, does that make any sense? We have a conversation, then I text him saying people are going in about the chat. I mean, once again, man, this dude is making up stories. So we had the conversation, right? It was about a month later. And see, the cool thing about it is these videos, they all have timestamps on them. So you can prove all this stuff. I don't necessarily know about the live that they went on, right? But these videos have timestamps on. We had the conversation. Everything was smooth. Then about a month later, I made a video called I'm on the Fence About Dubs. That night, so I think I dropped the video around 6 or 7. They happened to be live. Somebody told him, Chill dropped a video on you. And that's when they went to talking crazy, right? So what he's talking about is Chill, text Dubs and told him they're talking crazy about me in the chat. That's something he just heard Dubs say recently, man. Me and Dubs spoke on the phone. I didn't text Dubs anything of the nature, right? We spoke on the phone after Dubs and Gunner that night got to talking all crazy on the live. The next day, Dubs called me and he said, hey, man, I feel me and Gunner owe you an apology. We're going to drop this video later tonight, whatever. I had told Dubs then on the phone, hey, Dubs, listen, man, you disrespected me on live. You disrespected me on YouTube. So that's where I'm going to make my response at. I'm going to make my response on YouTube, right? Well, he's like, okay, well, man, we'll just check the video out. It's going to show up, come on at 6 or at 7 or whatever time. And then right after they dropped the video, he texted me or called me and asked me, hey, man, Chill, are you watching the video? I had already told Dubs that I was going to reveal. I told him this man to man on the phone. Actually, I said my video was already complete. I'm dropping the video saying that you went S&Y. Dubs replied, and this is almost verbatim. Dubs said, okay, man, do what you feel you have to do. He said, but hey, man, do me a favor. Don't mention the reason that I told you I went S&Y because it would kind of get some people mad at you, right? My right hand to God, you guys have never seen me do this. I put that on my mom's. I put that on my father, rest in peace. That's exactly what happened. And you guys saw the video that I did speaking on why Dubs said he went S&Y. Now, those were Dubs' words. Why he went S&Y, I don't know, but that's what he told me.
Notice that anytime my name or Dubs' name is mentioned in any of Chill 16 to Life's videos, they always do better numbers than just his regular videos. Now, I don't know if that's because of us or what it is, but one never knows, does one? One thing I do know for sure is anytime he mentions myself or Dubs, he does better views. Cool, man. Every content creator is trying to get views. That's the number one goal. That's a fact. No lying, no disrespecting, no bullshitting. Truth, facts, right? And so he does his videos, and he talks a lot of shit about myself and Dubs. How many times do you see me making videos talking about Chill? Today, here we go, right? So
now when I make my videos, right, I don't necessarily, he may call it talking shit. My videos are always based on truth, right? I may clown and have a little fun, but it is what it is, right? But what really trips me out is I can understand dudes in the comments complaining and crying and this and that. But for the content creators, we all know how the content game works, right? All this stuff is content, right? I feel as long as I'm not lying on the individual or giving false information, it's all good, right? But what really trips me out is every time that Dubs is a hot topic on YouTube and a lot of people are making videos about him, there's also another individual making videos about him. It's Gunner. Let me show you guys all these videos that Gunner has done on Dubs. Now, when he does the videos, yeah, he may take a different approach than I do. He may, support Dubs. He'll put up a title that's misleading sometimes. The title may say, hey, are me and Dubs still cool? And he puts up a title to draw people's interest. But at the end of the day, he's still trying to capitalize on the situation too. It's a YouTube content game, right? And so if you're going to play the game, you can't be upset when somebody else plays the game, especially when all this back and forth was initiated by you guys. Once again, man, you guys are too old to come on YouTube, be disrespectful, apologize, and then get mad when someone don't accept your apology. To prevent all that, stop disrespecting people.
This last video that he puts out, man, about Dubs' paperwork. Oh, man, Dubs better apologize to me. Now, Dubs has made some videos about Chill, too. I didn't. I said, fuck this guy, man. I ain't making videos. He did a rap song and threatening and all this and that, and whatever. I'm not going to fucking go back and forth. I can't rap better than him. That brother can rap, right? Let's just keep it real. I'm not going to bite into that. So anyways, I'm not talking about Chill anymore, but anytime his name is brought up and he disrespects, I do got something to say. Like, come on, bro, stop it, bro. You act like you was in high desert or you were over there putting in work, man. You had 19 points, bro. You was just chilling. You was chilling like everyone else was chilling. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but don't act like you're super hardcore tough because you weren't doing that, bro.
Now, this 19 point stuff, right? All this comes from Dubs, right? So, of course, at one point in time, when you're level 3, right, you have to have a certain amount of points to be level 3, level 4, so on and so forth, right? So now, of course, when I'm level 3 and I drop down to a level 2, you have to be, I think, 27 points, right? In order to get a date from the parole board, if you're a lifer, you have to remain trouble-free for 5 years at least, right? Each year, if you stay out of trouble and you work, they take off 8 points. So if it's 27 points to go to a level 2, and you stay out of trouble 1 year, that's already going to be, 20 points, 19 points right there. The whole reason that this information came out is because Dubs submitted a request to the Board of Parole Hearings to get my paperwork. We saw him on a video that I put up saying, oh yeah, I'm going to react to Chill's paperwork. This dude had to actually submit a request and send money to get my transcripts, right? And of course, he went through all that in an effort to make me look bad. Once he got the transcripts and he read through them, there was nothing else in there for him to say, with the exception of, oh man, Chill had 19 points. Chill had 19 points. I've got Chill's transcripts, but I don't want to read them. So are we really going to sit here and believe that? Are we going to sit here and believe that if he had read through there and found that I had funny charges, he wouldn't have exposed that? Or even if I hadn't been in prison for what I said I was in for, right? Let's say I had got life for carjacking and not, the 3 attempted murders and the separate taking the life of a witness. Dubs would have not put that out there and tried to make me look bad. Oh, Chill's a big liar. Chill wasn't in here for all that stuff. It was nothing that he could say outside of the fact that Chill has 19 points. So once again, all this information is coming from Dubs, right? And so this is the type of stuff that he does. He'll pretend like he's not trying to make me look bad and feign ignorance, but that's exactly what he's trying to do, right? But the last time I checked, you never had any Northerners. You never had any Southerners. You never had any whites. You never had anybody that went to prison and got ran off from their hood for paroling from a level 2 or even a level 1.
Respects for not getting caught up in bullshit, right? That's what men do, their own thing. Anyways, Dubs makes his videos, Chill makes his videos back and forth, whatever they do. And Dubs puts out a video that, you know, he ran into to Chill's fucking whatever work, right? His parole board hearing or whatever it was, and Chill paroled 19 points. And let me explain to you, 19 points, that's like McFarland points. That's level 1 like a motherfucker points, right? So you can't sit there and be tough and play the tough role, and I'm a tough guy, and you paroled with that many points, right? But it is what it is. No big deal. It doesn't mean the man's a punk, just means the man didn't get no write-ups, didn't get caught up. I'm not going to.
Now, of course, like I just said, man, as a lifer, you have to stay out of trouble 5 years, right? So if you're working and you're staying out of trouble, that's going to be 40 points after a period of 5 years, right? So this dude, like I say, man, they try to shoot these jabs, and to me, it's ridiculous.
Sit here and call a man a bitch or a punk or a sucker, man. I don't even know that man. Straight up. Now, I've been called all that, right, by that man, and he don't know me. So it is what it is. You know, if you regurgitate what you hear on the internet, man, then I'm a whole bunch of suckers, right? But you never met me. And when the energy was on the phone, it was cool both ways. I kept it respectful. You kept it respectful. Let's keep it respectful.
I've always kept it respectful with you until you kept it unrespectful. And like I say, it's crazy, right? You're talking about regurgitating things that you hear on the internet, and that's all you're ever doing, right? But I would like to issue you a challenge, Gunner. I would like to issue you a challenge, right? Let's me and you set up a YouTube content creator boxing match, right? Let's put the gloves on. Let's get into the ring and let's do that for fun. You know, maybe possibly make a little bread. Let's do it like that, right? I'm almost 55, right? I'm willing to bet I will beat the brakes off you and max you out, right? And we'll all do it for fun, right? We can't do it anywhere else because whatever happened, you wouldn't be truthful about it. So let's do that for those who are interested in watching, because I'm sure a lot of people are. And so if you're interested in doing something like that, let's get together, let's figure it out, let's make it work, right? That's what I would love to do.
Thing is, why are you so concerned with paperwork? Why are you so dead set, Chill, on trying to prove that a man is not cool or tough or in good standings? Everyone already knows, man, Dubs ain't activated like that. I'm not, right? Why do people try to hold people to those prison standards all the time? What are you trying to achieve out of that?
Now that's ridiculous, right? He just said, why do people try to hold people to those prison standards? During this whole video, almost every little put down he has had about me has been prison related. This whole situation would have never even got started had you guys not tried to hold me to prison standards. I never got into any of you guys' prison situations on YouTube. I disagreed with a video he made for content purposes. Dubs made a video. He reacted to a video where a dude in the feds was saying black people was afraid of Mexicans. And I just questioned Dubs' motive for making the video. I never said anything about his prison status. I never even mentioned you. So if we gonna keep it 100, if you had to just shut the fuck up, stayed in the background and not inserted yourself into a situation, me and you would have never even had to make videos or whatever. You chose to get into a situation that involved another grown man. I get it. I get it. Dubs is your friend, right? I could see, man, if me and you guys all ran together and me and some of my friends started jumping Dubs or whatever, then of course get involved. But Dubs has his own working mouth, his own YouTube channel. So however he felt about anything I said, he could have replied. I mean, why don't you be a man for once, right? And just admit that, hey, you know what? I should have stayed out of that situation. You had something to say about me. You intentionally tried to make me look bad when there is a ton of stuff out there on you to make you look bad, and Dubs as well. So please don't cry when I play the same game that you guys play. I mean, I really don't get it. If you, Dubs, or any other content creator has put themselves in a position where they has rubbed people the wrong way, I don't see anything wrong with making a video about that topic, especially if you're not lying on an individual. I feel while the viewers may not get it, of course the content creators are going to get it because we're the ones getting the checks. We know why we're doing these videos, right? Let's talk about all the videos Dubs has made on Wes Watson. This is ridiculous, right? These dudes will sit here and complain and stuff, play the same game, and then act and feign ignorance. Let's put up some of the videos. I believe like in a 6-month period, Dubs has made on one particular channel 70, 80 videos on Wes Watson. And that's not counting the other channel, right, that he has, right? He's put up a lot of videos lately since this last arrest of Wes Watson on there. So this dude will cry. I made maybe 3 or 4 videos about this dude. Some of those videos are actually content YouTube moments, like when it came out, this dude was making up lies about his cousin, so on and so forth, right? That's a YouTube moment. Those are not taking personal shots at this dude. That is a video where you had a lot of individuals create YouTube videos around that, because this dude is a content creator. He is in the public eye. Also, like when the lady was alleging you stole her video with the baby Harlow or whatever that was. I didn't even pay attention to that entire situation, and I only learned recently that that stuff happened like 5 minutes away from where I grew up. But if my recollection serves me right, a lady was alleging that you pretty much stole her interview. You edited her out of the interview and inserted yourself and made it seem like you was asking the questions and you had got an exclusive interview. That is a YouTube moment. That's YouTube content, right? And I didn't even make a video on that. So my whole point is saying is, if you put yourself in a position to become YouTube content, you can't cry and complain when other individuals make videos about you. When you make videos about a lot of other individuals, like I say, while I'm talking, we're just running through the screen here. Look at all these videos that Dubs has did on Wes Watson. Every other line has Wes Watson either in the description or on the YouTube thumbnail. This dude literally has over 300 videos on Wes Watson. So I just don't get it, man. These content creators crying who make videos on everybody else, and when people make videos on them, they want to cry. I don't get it.
Do it, right? But keep it real. Don't lie. You know, look at all the hate I'm getting from lying, but then you're lying. You're going to sit there and call me a liar. Oh, Gunner lied about this. He lied about that. And then lie about the lying. Stop it, Mr. Liar, pants on fire. The facts are this. If I lie, man, at least I have the balls to tell you I did it, right? Keep it real, you know? Oh, man, I got paperwork on Dubs. And what are you trying to achieve, man? What are all these people trying to achieve?
So I think I'm going to end this video here. This video has gotten pretty long, man. I'm going to end this video with one last clip. Check this out right here.
And so that's where this story leads me to. And this is where my interaction with John Diesel happens. I thought, little did I know, I was actually locked up in the youth authority with John Diesel. See, he remembers me a lot more than I remember him for some reason. And I guess that's because, hey, you always remember the person who's doing more than you are, right? So in this but in this case, neither one of us were doing shit. I'm just going to keep it real. Hey, I'm tired of these lies and this bullshit. Let's just keep it fucking real, right? He wasn't doing shit there, and I wasn't doing shit at that particular time there. And I'll explain to you guys why.
And that video just illustrates my point that anytime Gunner feels someone has slighted him, it's just natural. It's second nature for him just to lie on the dude. And then suddenly, in the midst of making up another lie on another individual, it's almost like he caught himself. It's like he's talking to himself like, God damn it, Gunner, enough of these lies, man. Stop lying on people, Gunner. He wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything, so on and so forth. So to me, it's crazy that you are a tremendous, you are a habitual liar along with your buddy Dubs. And then when people see it and call you out, you get mad because people recognize that you're a liar. Just stop lying, Gunner. You're the one. Just stop lying and keep it real. And it's probably going to be hard for you to do because you have been so used to lying. Man, that is a characteristic that you have probably embraced for a lot of your life, right? And it just real. And it just is what it is. But once again, I reiterate, man, let's do that YouTube content creator boxing match. Let's hop into the ring and figure it out like that. Anyway, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.